Salutations, my friends! So, I've actually got a little timer so I don't hopefully speak as much. I think this video is about 8 minutes long. I've got a couple of minutes knocked off of that just for, I don't know, ramblings I guess. But anyway, I thought I would do a fun, or hopefully fun little video where I just do some gameplay, and I'm not very multitask-like in terms of playing games. If you guys have seen some of my gameplay in the past, you know I cannot play games and talk properly at the same time, so I thought I'd just do a voiceover, and I thought it'd be fun to do some questions. So I have up here, it's from the website called levelskip.com, and it's the article, whatever you want to call it, called 50 Fun Questions About Video Games to Ask Your Friends, and it's by Poppy. So I thought I'd answer some of these questions. So bear in mind, I generally am more of a reader than a gamer, but I play a few games. Hopefully I have enough varied answers for this. Yeah, every time I get into it again, I find myself going back to reading. I don't know why. Anyway, so what is your favourite game of all time? For me, the one that comes to mind is obviously Animal Crossing. Probably Animal Crossing New Leaf, just because that is the one that I've dedicated the most hours to over my life. Even the Animal Crossing game before that, on the 3DS or whatever, the DS, I played so much in there. So that's definitely my favourite game of all time. What's a game you thought you'd like but actually hated? I don't think I have an answer for that. I feel like I'm pretty good at picking out games that I would enjoy. I think, yeah, I mean, because it's such a dedication to purchase a game, I make sure that it's something that I definitely want, and something I definitely enjoy before splurging the money on it. Either that's me playing a demo or something like that. But yeah, I don't really have an answer for this. Number 3, what's a really popular game everyone seems to love but you don't like? That's interesting. I'd probably say Call of Duty. Now, I should probably preface this by saying I'm more of like a PC Nintendo gamer. I don't really play anything like Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that, because I just don't have those consoles. My brother used to have them back in the day, but he never like let me join in. It would be like I'd sit at the end of his bed and watch him play, if that makes sense. So that was like Let's Plays before Let's Plays were a thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely say Call of Duty, any of those games. You know, I think Black Ops is the most recent one or whatever. It's just not my kind of game. I don't enjoy like shooter games, first person shooter games, those sort of stuff, like war, violence. I like, not that I like violence, but I prefer violence if it's in like a fantasy-esque, that sort of thing, and you're battling and dueling and stuff. But straight up like gun and like war, that's, I don't know, it's not for me. And it's very loud. What's a game you didn't expect to enjoy but ended up liking? Actually, this is kind of a weird answer one, actually. I'd say any of, like, the Sonic games. I can't remember. I think, actually, one of the ones I remember playing most was, like, Sonic Colors. I feel like I played that on something. One of the PlayStation consoles or something, when my brother, or the rare times that he let me play, because he needed, like, a 2-player, or I don't know, something like that. I think it was Sonic Colors, because by then, I didn't personally myself like the looks of really fast-paced games like Super Mario, Smash Bros, that sort of stuff, because it was too fast, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I get migraines and stuff, and when something's like all colourful and vibrant and fast and the music's all like it hurts my head, my eyes, I can't keep up with it. But when I played it, it's kind of like addictive, and that's why now I own Super Mario Odyssey finally on the Switch. I feel like I have to be in the mood to play something like that though, because it's so fast paced and it's just too crazy. But as I said, once I get into something like that, using Sonic as the example, it's enjoyable, it's addictive, it definitely has those qualities and traits. So yeah, I'd say those sort of games. What game have you spent the most amount of hours on? Again, that's going to be Animal Crossing New Leaf most likely, but also I would probably say The Sims on the DS games, like is it Sims 2, the ones where they have like the aliens and that? I don't think it's called Sims Aliens, but they are like, you're in like a desert country, like Texas or something, like a desert-y area. I don't know, is Texas? Okay, I'm sounding stupid now. And if you go into the desert, like, you can get abducted by aliens, and aliens come into your hotel lobby, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, that's a really fun game. I played so many hours. Fun fact, someone that I used to play out with, like, back in the day as kids, it was actually my brother's game, and he loaned it on me, but it was pretty much mine, but I did have an expectancy of eventually I'd give it back to him. He said, don't give it to anyone, I don't want you to erase my data, blah blah blah. I lent it to my friend. She lent me one of her games. Guess what she did? She erased the save file that I was told not to erase, because I had my own save file on there and he had his own save file where he, like, completed a lot. And I was so angry. The one thing I told her not to do, she did. And I didn't know how to tell my brother. He was so pissed off. But in the end, he gave it to me because it was like, well, I'm not going to replay the whole thing again. Like, that's just a piss take. So, yeah, that's probably another one that I put a lot of hours into. I was obsessed with that game for the longest time. If you had to marry the last video game character you played, who would it be? I think the last game I played was Super Mario Odyssey, so it'd probably be Mario, or his cap, depending on, you know, how you view it. That's a bit weird. If you had to live in the world in the last game you played, what would it be? It would be that weird Super Mario world. I don't know what the world's called, but yeah, it would be that. Have you ever had a crush on a video game character? I have, actually. Quite a few, I think, but it's always like the weird animal-like ones. That makes me think, like, I'm such a weirdo. Like, anyway, basically, I had a little crush on, like, Spyro. Sort of, I don't know, it's really weird. It was like an infatuation. And then also Crash Bandicoot, and who else? Obviously, like, I haven't played these games, which is, I know, sacrilege, but the Kingdom Hearts characters and, like, the Final Fantasy and that, they look amazing. But yeah, I've yet to actually play any of those games. What was the first game you ever remember playing? I don't really know, because I got a DS, like, early on in my, not early on, but I don't know how to count it really, because on the odd occasion, as I've mentioned, my brother would let me play some of his games with him. I would probably actually say, yeah, because that was before I had a DS or anything like that, and I would probably say Lara Croft, one of the Tomb Raider games. My brother had that again on, was it Xbox, PlayStation? I really don't know, guys, sorry. And I was obsessed with him making her die. Like, there used to be these big cube things that she would jump from, and I think they were immersed in water, and I was like, let her fall, and then she would fall and she'd be like, ah, no, blah 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 blah, and I loved it. So every now and then he'd let me, like, jump from one of them so that I could make her fall. And sometimes in, like, the earlier stages of the game, because he'd play that, like, continuously. So I think he would start over quite a lot just because he liked it. He would let me have a few goes before it got too intense that he didn't want me to ruin his pace, basically. So yeah, I think probably one of the Lara Croft games. Let's see, what's another question? Have you ever pretended to be sick to get out of something so you could play a game? That would be a no from me. I would say I'm more of like a casual gamer, so that's never really been something that I would do or something that I would think to do. What game did you last complete? Oh my god, sad story, bros, but I have never completed any game. I have a really bad attention span, and I just jump from things. If Animal Crossing could ever be completed, which it wouldn't because it's not one of those games, obviously, then I would have said that, but because that's the most hours I've put in, that's the most effort I have ever put into, like, a game. But because it is not a completable game, I'm going to have to say nothing. I haven't ever been invested so much into something with the aim of seeing the end. I mean, obviously you want to complete things, but it's just never happened for me. Oh dear. What game are you playing right now? I'm not playing anything right now. Sorry. I am currently doing a voiceover. What game do you want to play next? I will probably dip back into Stardew Valley. I do like that game. It's quite fun. Let's see. Another one. In your opinion, what is the best games console? I'm gonna have to say Nintendo Switch. It's like everything. Again, I don't play many, like, actual non-portable consoles, but this is like a hybrid. Like, you can make it portable, you can make it non-portable. I think it's amazing, revolutionary even. I think it's great. Are PC gamers really superior to console gamers? So, as I've mentioned, if you want to say, like, I say PC and Nintendo because I vary in terms of what I use. They don't have like they don't have any really, other than the Switch, which is obviously the hybrid, they don't really have any major consoles that I've ever played or known of. I sound really thick, I know, that are not handheld. So I've only played with like the 3DS, the DS, those sort of things, and then obviously the Switch now. So I've never really gravitated to the traditional console games of Xbox, PlayStation, that sort of stuff. The Sony ones, or whatever they're called, or is that PlayStation? Sony is PlayStation, isn't it? Nah, I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I don't really say anybody's superior to anyone. If you've got a preference of how you prefer to play stuff, what sort of screen size you like, what sort of console controller feels better in your hand, like, that's your priority, your prerogative. Do what you find best. I don't think anybody's superior to anyone. Yeah, I think it's kind of stupid actually to say someone's better than someone else because of how they play. I don't know. What's my opinion of Fortnite? I don't really have an opinion. I keep meaning to download it on my PC. I was going to get it on my phone, but then it had like way more signing up than I wanted to do. I couldn't be asked to do it and I just never got around to it. But the dances make me laugh, especially when I'm like at work and the kids are like doing floss and that. I'm like, oh god, no. So I don't really have an opinion. I've never played it. I would like to play it on my PC, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And I think they've got it on the Switch as well actually now. Have you ever watched a Twitch stream? I've watched like one or two. I can't tell you who it's from. I'm not really up to date with Twitch and that. I don't really follow many people on there. And to be fair, I don't watch many gamer channels anymore. Again, it's a hobby that I drift in and out of. So when I'm like in my peak of really enjoying gaming and I'm busting out some gaming videos kind of frequently, even though my gaming video is absolute shit, but when I have the motivation to do that, then I'll be watching a lot of gaming content on YouTube as opposed to Twitch. Again, Twitch isn't something, I've got an account I think, but it's not something that I really use or, to be honest, really understand. So have you ever streamed yourself on Twitch or YouTube? No, but I would like to, but I know nobody would watch it and it's just embarrassing. It's not as bad when you're filming a video and you get like, I mean, views aren't everything for me, I don't really care, but it's disheartening when you put effort into something and you're not really getting a response. And as I was about to say, like, if I was to put a video up like this video and it probably doesn't do as well as some of my other videos, that doesn't bother me because, like, people, I don't know, in my head people can come back to it, but sometimes you can save streams, can't you? People can watch it. But no, it's that live engagement that I know nobody would engage with me, and it would just make me feel like poop. So I've never really done it, don't really know how to begin, but I would like to. And not necessarily like gaming, so back to YouTube again, streamed on YouTube. Maybe even something to do with like my books, I might get more like feedback from that, but I don't know, I've never really done it. I'm very shy because, again, live, people can talk to you, you can't edit out your stutters and mistakes, it's just, yeah. Have you ever used a walkthrough? Yes, like all the time. I'm not even gonna like lie about it. I remember one time what game was I playing? I think I was playing a game called Dust Elysian Tower. I really wanted to do a review of that, but then I got to a really hard part and I just stopped playing it, which is stupid on my part. But I remember thinking, oh my god, I'm so guilty. I've gone through a walkthrough. I can't believe this. And I was like, hold on a minute. If people weren't making walkthrough videos or walkthrough tutorials like on the internet or whatever, then you wouldn't be able to do what you can do. Like, sometimes there's really tricky parts you need help with, and people are making these to begin with, so it can't be too bad a thing. I don't really know. And I think maybe the last question I'm going to do... No, I'll do a few more. I'll maybe do 5 more or so. What's the best weapon you've ever used in a game? Again, I don't really play games like that in terms of weapons, so I don't really have an answer. And I tell you what, I'm so bad because I find it difficult to learn skills like that within a game, like Skyrim for example. I'm still at the very beginning because I get literally like a sense of anxiety when it comes to fighting. I'm thinking, I really want to play it and I enjoy the concept of it, I enjoy the story, that sort of thing, but the actual confrontation of like killing people, killing dragons and stuff, it frightens me, and I don't know why. I've got to disengage from the fact that this isn't really happening in real life. I can calm down and just enjoy it, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't really have like a favourite weapon or anything. Have you ever had to stop playing a game because it was too scary? Again, not much of a horror person, but something that made me feel very uncomfortable actually was Little Nightmares on. I was playing on the PC. I did a gameplay, but it didn't record very well, so I haven't done another one yet, and I haven't played it yet. So I stopped just because of like the way it was recording. But to be fair, it was making me really uncomfortable. Like there's some people like hanging, and it's just it's uncomfortable. And I think it gets worse as it goes on. So I haven't been in a rush to pick that back up, to be honest. And also Franbo, like that's really unsettling as well. Has a game storyline ever made you cry? No, I don't think so. No, not yet. What's your favourite fighting class? Warrior, mage, rogue, and why? I always usually go for the mage because I prefer like magic fighting abilities as opposed to like straight up warrior with like swords and bow and arrow. To be fair, like if I'm like a mage or something, or usually something to do with like elf or something, you get like a bow and arrow and that sort of stuff, but the additional or the magical abilities always pulls me in. I prefer that sort of class, character, whatever. What's your favourite game genre? I'd say like RPG, something like that. Whether it's like, you know, the big multiplayer MMR, I can't remember, I get tongue tied with the abbreviations, one of those big world building ones where everyone's online at once, or if it's just like, oops, my time has come off, whether it's just like a chilled RPG in a sense that I would explain like Animal Crossing to be. Those are the sort of things I gravitate to. And again, lastly, for the questions of today, it's going to be, do you prefer multiplayer games or to go solo? I like the prospect of trying to make friends in multiplayer games, like if it's like internet based, or if you're playing with someone through local connection like on the DS or something, and someone's like visiting your Animal Crossing town. I'm always going on about Animal Crossing, but that's how I am. Then yeah, cool, but typically I prefer to go solo because I don't like to rely on anyone else. And those are going to be the questions that I answered today. I did 25 of the 50 fun questions to ask your friends. Yeah, I will link in the description if you're interested. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.